Hello, welcome to Dun and Drills podcast. I'm your host Justin. So today, for Christmas month, we're reviewing the 2021 Christmas film 8-Bit Christmas, which is available on HBO Max. And for this review, I thought I should play, since it's a movie about 8-bit video games, mostly about Nintendo, I thought I should play Nintendo video game, and that Nintendo video game we're going to play is the SNK game Crystallis. Though we probably should be playing Dragon Warrior, which I also own that. And that because that was an 80s game, and this movie takes place mostly in the 80s, right? Which the movie is directed by Michael Dowse and written by Kevin J. Kabowski, right? The movie stars Diane, Raphael as the mom in the movie. You have Neil Patrick Harris as adult Jake Doyle, Steve Zahn as John Doyle, Chris Arnold as Josh Jaworski, Winslow Fegley as Jake Doyle, Sophia Reed Gansert as Annie Doyle, Santino Bernard as Evan Olsen, and David McCannis as Mr. Halberg. Alright, let's play this game already. So, the movie, well, it starts off like Neil Patrick Harris plays his dad in the movie in like modern day Chicago, who's taking his daughter to his, like, you know, his to his mom's house. You know, it's Christmas. They're gonna celebrate, you know, Christmas, obviously. And his daughter really wants a cell phone, and obviously she's like 10. I think like she's like 10 years old in the movie. So he's like, you know, I'm not gonna give you, like, you know, a cell phone. You're a little kid, right? So they get to the house, and there's nothing to do, but he finds his old Nintendo, right? AKA the Nintendo, oh fuck, who, what's this do, Ajax? That's one of my go-tos. Oh, for people who don't know what this game is, it's an action RPG set in the future where you play like this robot who has to go and, like, you know, save the world, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah. Hey, there's a guy coming out of the cave. I don't even think you have any weapons at this point. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how the fuck to save in this game. Yeah, it's like you have to just fuck with the menus. Right? So like what happens, he's like, they start playing Nintendo, and he's like, you know what was a gift I really wanted as a kid? He tells his daughter, what? A Nintendo NES, right? So after that, he regales his daughter about the story of how he wanted, like, you know, Nintendo NES as a kid, right? And growing up in Chicago, nobody had one except for the rich douchebag in the city, and everybody, all the kids had to go to his house to watch him play Nintendo. Is that the Elder? Receive this sword to protect you on your quest. This and others like it will give. Okay, now we have a sword. Okay, now we can go fight monsters. Which, one thing about this game is, it's really hard. Two. Oh, I almost dropped it. One thing about this game is, like, there's a really cool commercial for it, right? You guys, after watching this video, go watch the oh, fuck. Go watch the the commercial for this game. It's fucking awesome, right? Oh, there's the Tiger Man. Fuck you, Tony the Tiger. We almost played Highlight. I found most of my NES games. If you guys want to see a video where I show off all my NES RPGs, let me know. But I'm missing a couple. I'm missing one of my Ultima games. Right? Yeah, so like, yeah, the movie is basically a Christmas story, but instead of it being set in the 50s and about a kid wanting, a BB gun, it's basically about a kid wanting a Nintendo, right? And like the movie is like him coming up with plans, how to get an NES. One plan is like they find out that the Boy Scouts in the movie are doing a thing, right, where if whoever sells the most wreaths that Christmas gets an NES, right? So like he comes up with a scheme to which he get from his little sister, the idea from his little sister, right? To con old people into selling selling wreaths and shit. And one of the old people in the movie that he sells a wreath to is asleep, and you're not sure. Okay, what? Oh, you can charge. I forgot you could charge your sword in this game and shoot it like a laser. That makes killing the enemies in this game a lot easier. Bam! Fuck you, Tony Tiger. Tony, I heard you had to shut down your Twitter because of furries sexually harassing you. Fucking retard. Pussy. Oh man, yeah. This game's awesome. I was going to shit on NES games, but I forgot about the one good. Well, there was 3 good NES RPGs: Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, and this one. Right? Star Tropics is supposed to be good. I haven't fucking played it. I own it. Oh, I could shoot it inside the village. Yeah, I need a heal. Need a rest. $16. That's most of my money. Oh my god. I think you can buy a shield in this game. No. Yeah, so the movie, if you're wondering if the movie is woke, yes, the movie is very woke. There's this thing in the movie where his mom bought him girl boots, right? And if this movie had came out in the 90s or the early 2000s, the kids in the movie would be calling him an F-slur. Right, but because it's modern day, they just make fun of him for wearing. They don't use any colorful language, even though realistically it was the 80s. They probably would have, right? And they even made a joke in the movie, people were very closed-minded back then. It's oh my god, right? So, the movie, one thing about the movie that a lot of people might hate about the movie is, the whole premise of the movie is him trying to get the NES, and, oh my god, that slime monster looks like a Diglett, a Diglett, like the Pokemon, but blue, oh my god. Right? So, the whole thing about the movie is, he's trying to get the Nintendo Entertainment System, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it in the movie. He actually explains part of the morals of the story, he tells his daughter, I didn't get it that Christmas. What I did, how I eventually got the NES was, I worked at a golf course, and my grandpa bought me it. Which there was a thing. There was multiple fake outs in the movie where he almost got an NES. Like, they came up with this elaborate plan to, like, sell baseball cards, and when they're, like, going on their field trip, one of them would get sick, puke his brains out, right, by eating raw spaghetti cans, right, and then they would, one of them would, with the money they made from selling rare baseball cards, that person would go in and, like, go and buy the Nintendo Entertainment System, right? Which there's a thing in the movie, right? Because of a certain thing that happens in the film, which this happens 25 minutes into the film, right? I almost shut off the movie. If it wasn't for my review of this movie, I was gonna shut it off. Where they're playing like, a fake fighting game at the rich kid's house, right? And I leveled up. And the kid's using a power glove, and he's losing to the girl, right? And they thought, like, they made a joke that, like, they thought he was making an excuse, but it turns out the power glove was a piece of shit. Which there was a movie I was going to watch called Buzzard, which is supposed to be a slacker noir movie, where the main character of that film is obsessed with the power glove, and owns a power glove, and, like, at the beginning of the movie, he's playing with the power glove and is smashing it, right? So the rich kid, who they know has anger issues, right? They egg him on, he loses, right? And he has a small dog, right? The small dog is, like, right in front of the TV as they're playing. So what ends up happening is he starts fucking around, like, smashing shit while wearing the power gloves. It pulls the big TV, the 42-inch TV down. And you know how, like, TVs were back then, right? Which I swear to God, I had, like, a TV like that, like, before I got this one. Right? And, like, it fucking falls on the dog, right? They thought they killed the dog. Apparently the dog didn't die, but broke, like, 3 of its legs and shit. Right? And cracked 2 of its ribs, right? And because of that, that made me hate the kids in the movie. None of the kids tried to save the fucking dog, man. And they were egging on the rich kid, to, like, lose his shit and smash his TV, which he does, like, a fucking fighting move, flying kick into his TV, right? Right. And, yeah, like, the dog, because of that, the parents in the movie blame video games for causing violence, right? And that's why there's a scene when they come up with the plan to try to get the NES, they have to distract the moms in the movie who are protesting outside of the video game, the toy store that's selling the NES games, right? They make a joke. The movie has a plot point where about, like, alarmists, like, parents, alarmist outrage, right? Which still goes on today. It's just that they don't touch that. It's just that instead of it's like kids, toys and shit, like D&D and, like, Harry Potter or whatever, it's now, like, guns and fucking Me Too bullshit, right? That shit's still going on. It's just that, whatever, right? So, that's one of the things I hate about the movie, is that they make you think they kill a dog in the movie, right? And I like the fact that, I'm glad the dog didn't die, but it's like, what bullshit? You made us think that you were gonna kill the dog, and, like, even his daughter, who's commenting on the story, is like, "What? The dog died?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was the '80s." shit got real. But he didn't say that, right? And it turns out the dog did survive, right? So it's like, what the fuck? You were going to kill the dog in your kid's movie, but didn't have the balls to go through it, man. So it's like, fucking gay. I mean, fucking happy. Right, that was fucking. I meant lame. Okay, I meant lame. I'm sorry. I grew up in the 2000s where like a certain word for happy meant lame. Okay. Which you don't know me. I could be happy. You don't know me. Fuck. Yeah, so like, yeah, I really hated that, and I really hated the whole subplot with the whole, like, oh, they didn't even get the NES. Which, honestly, I was on the side of the parents, like, through most of the movie, because I'm like, fuck these kids, man, they're fucking assholes. Right? And also, I found out there's, like, this kid in their class who's, like, looks like he should be in high school, and it's never explained, how come this bully guy is twice the size of everybody, and like should be like and yeah, well, why is this bully kid who should be in high school in the same class as these kids, right? They wouldn't have pulled them back that much, man, unless he was a complete illiterate, which I think they imply he's illiterate, right? Yeah. Also, David Cross is in the movie as this scalper who is selling NESs and what's it called? Cabbage Patch Kids, right? Which his sister wants the Cabbage fucking Patch Kid, and him and his dad, played by Steve Zahn, go to meet the scalper, right, which is played by David Cross, who gives, like, later on in the movie, gives the kid, like, life advice and whatnot, right? Which I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, it was what it was. I mean, David Cross was okay in the movie. He wasn't great. Yeah, I don't know. The movie, honestly, is just a shameless ripoff of, of A Christmas Story. And because the movie came out in 2021, and comedy films have no balls nowadays because they're afraid of getting canceled for being offensive or whatever, like, this movie had zero chance to be good. It had zero chance to be good. If this movie had came out, like, pre-2010, the perfect time to make this movie, honestly, would have been in the fucking 80s, the 90s or early 2000s. But because it came out nowadays, the movie had no chance to be good, and it's fucking awful, right? Fuck, it is awful. It's not funny. The characters suck. There's like synth, like, not synth, like, but electronic music, right? Which I guess fit the thing. I don't know. To me, if you want to watch a decent movie about, like, NESs, watch The Wizard. Because that was a much better movie, and that movie actually had balls. And Christian Slater and Beau Bridges were fucking awesome in that movie, right? Yeah, so I would say if you're a fan of, like, 80s, like, nostalgia for 8-bit games, check out the Wizard film, right? Which I think it's on, like, BitChute or Odyssey. I saw The Wizard this year on BitChute. Which this movie, it's an HBO Max movie, so it's going to be on BitChute or Odyssey at some point if you want to watch this movie. Which I wouldn't recommend this movie. I think at best this is a decent movie, and I'm giving it 5 out of 10. All right, yeah. So that's it for this review, guys. Peace. All right, and I got work to do, so I got work in the morning, so no second takes. Oh, and our next review is going to be, let's do, no, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Do you guys want Gingerdeadman next, or do you want Olive the Reindeer? Which I thought was Ollie the Reindeer, but it's Olive the Reindeer. Which is like this 40 or 50-minute animated movie starring Drew Barrymore as a talking dog who wants to become Santa Claus reindeer. I forget who, but somebody asked me to review that for Christmas month, which I will at some point. But like, let me know, what do you guys want for my next Christmas month review? Do you want Olive the Reindeer, or do you want Gary Busey's Gingerdeadman, which is on Tubi if you want to watch it, and Olive the Reindeer is also on YouTube. Yeah. Alright guys, that's it. Peace. I want to kill one more thing. Die. Okay. I'm not even going to save, man. Alright